Take a deep breath in. Here we are, another day. I hope this message finds you well. Tom Beal here, sitting on the back porch, sweating. It's hot here in South Florida. But I'm actually heading on a moped ride here shortly. But wanted to put a brief message out just for the fathers here on Father's Day coming up. So happy Father's Day. And it's synchronicity. I attribute it to that last night Wanda and I watched I Can Only Imagine, a movie with Dennis Quaid as the abusive father for the lead singer of Mercy Me, who wrote that song, I Can Only Imagine. Norman, good to see you here, my friend. So it was interesting for me to view it, especially with Wanda, because I recognize that all of us have different upbringings. All of us have an experience that was unique to each of us. You know, for me, being born to teenagers, my mother was 17, my father was 19 when I was born. Zulika, Julian, good to see you here. So I had parents who were babies still. Mars Burden, what's up? So my experience being born to 17-year-old mother and 19-year-old father was quite unique. There was a lot of chaos. There was abuse. There was alcoholism. There was neglect. There was a lot of insane circumstances that I grew up around. Joy, good to see you here. However, watching that movie, I Can Only Imagine, was interesting for me because of my perspective, and also witnessing it with Wanda from her perspective, right? A peaceful, amazing household that she grew up with. So long story short, there was a part in the movie where the lead singer of Mercy Me, as a younger adult before he had written the song, went back to visit his father and was, look, all the things that happened, you expect me to forgive you. And the father had found God, right? And was like, look, God can forgive me. Why can't you? He's like, well, you're right. God can forgive you, but I can't. And then he went up and found some of his journals. And he found a journal. Mars, things are good, my friend. Hope all is well with you. He found a journal where he was at a camp at a very young age, and in the camp they gave him a journal, and he wrote, "Today I choose to forgive." And start to God, "Today I choose to forgive." And he wrote in there, "Dad." And I'm putting this out on Father's Day because, for you that may not have had the Leave It to Beaver lifestyle growing up like myself, that may have had some chaos, may have had some drama, for Father's Day, I think it might be important for all of us to take that point from the movie and ask ourselves, who do I choose to forgive today? And in many cases, it may be dad, it may be mom as the beginning, it may be grandma, it may be grandpa. And I would have you sit down and discern, like, who do I need to forgive? Who am I running for? Which was another message running from was a message in the movie. And forgive that person, right? I can look back on my childhood and I'm thankful for all that adversity. That molded me into who I am today. However, there were a lot of tears shed. There was a lot of amazingly hard lessons to learn that I'm thankful in retrospect, but wouldn't want to wish on anybody. So I do choose to forgive my dad, who was 19 years old when I was born. He married my mom and divorced her twice. Married her, divorced her, married and divorced her. And then he went on to be married and divorced a couple more times, and she went on to be married and divorced one more time and married, finally. And they both passed at 52 and 56. So a couple lessons there. Forgive your parents. If they're still around, have that conversation. I forgive you. Timothy Johnson, what's up, my friend? And forgive your mother. Forgive your father. And then look in the mirror. Forgive yourself. Right here we are on Father's Day. I can raise my hand. Have I been the father that I dreamed I would be as a child, that I dreamed I would be when I first... The hair is being taken out by the sun, my friend. It's there. It's just thinning as we speak. So we all had visions of, oh, that's what I went through as a child. I'll be this when I grow up. I'll make sure I'm not like this, and I'll be more of this for my children. Look, did it go the way that I had scripted it in my mind when my children were born? Absolutely not. But I can look in the mirror and forgive myself for all the things that I had dreamed of doing that didn't come to fruition. And similar to how I can forgive my dad, my stepdad, my grandpas, my step-grandpas, they were doing the best they knew how with what they had. And just like you and I, we were doing the best we knew how with what we had and where we were. Hopefully we're a little more mature now and we're growing up a bit. And now we can choose a little bit, be more discerning on how we choose to move forward. But forgive your mother, forgive your father, and most importantly, look in the mirror and forgive yourself. Here we are on Father's Day. For you fathers out there, forgive yourself. Have you been a perfect father? Maybe, maybe not. Chances are good, probably not, right? None of us are perfect, myself included. So forgive yourself. And here we go, Timothy. Well, brother, you're one of the best dads I know. Have an awesome Father's Day. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And, I do my best for my kids and for Wanda's kids, and I'm there. I'm seeking to be a better person all around continuously. But the bottom line is we have to look in the mirror, forgive our mother, forgive our father, and forgive ourselves. And take that deep breath. It's a new day. It's a new day. How we were doesn't mean that's how we have to be. We can choose to think, speak, and act the way that we know is the best that we're capable of being. So that's my brief message here on Father's Day. Go have an awesome weekend. I look forward to chatting with you soon. And if you get a chance, go watch that movie, I Can Only Imagine, especially if you had a difficult, chaotic upbringing. I think you may be able to relate to a lot of things. So for my father who's no longer here, I forgive you for... actually, if you go to tombeal.com/cancer, you can read about the last few days I spent with my dad. tombeal.com/cancer, and many people have stated it. It's very eye-opening. So I forgive you, Dad. I forgive you, both of my grandpas. I forgive my stepfather. I forgive my other stepfather, who was amazing. I forgive my step-grandparents. They were all doing the best that they knew how with what they had. And I forgive myself. That's something that I think is very powerful. Now, go watch I Can Only Imagine. And then there's another URL from one of my friends who I actually hired back in 2001. And he introduced me to this, that his father is the narrator of this. And this might be very powerful for you to watch as well. It's at fathersloveletter.com. fathersloveletter.com. Go check that out. And the man speaking in that is my friend Rome's dad, who is the voice there. So kind of a cool story of how I was introduced to it. But anyhow, have an amazing time, amazing weekend. And to you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Nicholas, what's happening? Jane, what's happening? Hope all is well, and I will chat with you soon. Until next time, make today great.